Coach Sellers is a 1958 graduate of Muskegon Catholic Central, where he played football and baseball and was named All-Area in both. In the fall of 1958, he entered Central Michigan University, where he played freshman football. In 1959, he had a concussion, which ended his playing football. He left CMU after the 59-60 school year, got a job, and took classes at Muskegon Community College. Married in August of that year August of 1963, returned to school at Central, graduated in 1965 with a BS in Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. Larry stayed on to work on his master's degree in Health, Physical Education, and Recreation, which was completed in the summer of 1966. In the fall of '66, Coach Sellers was hired by the Mount Pleasant school system, where he taught social studies and coached junior varsity football and assistant wrestling. In the summer of '67, he became a certified driver education instructor. That's a chore. In '68, Larry returned to his alma mater, Muskegon Catholic Central, as a social studies teacher, head junior varsity football coach, assistant freshman basketball coach, and head baseball coach. Kept him out of trouble. In 1972, Larry took a job as principal of Traverse City St. Francis High School. In addition to his principal duties, he was the assistant varsity football coach. When the coach retired, he became, in 1974, he took over as varsity head coach. His first team went 9-0, won, remember, mythical state championships, state Class C championship. He coached the Gladiators of St. Francis until his retirement in 2002. Period of 28 years, all at Traverse City St. Francis. His teams won 16 of 20 years of league championships, were in the playoffs 17 times, 9 times in the semis, 4 times in the finals, and had 2 state championships. His teams in the 90s won 104 games. He was awarded League Coach of the Year 10 times, Detroit Free Press Coach of the Year 3 times, Detroit News Coach of the Year 3 times, Associated Press Coach of the Year 2 times, and UPI Coach of the Year 2 times. He was recognized for success. Coach Sellers joined the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association in 1973, shortly after its inaugural season. Became a director in 1982. He has been the Jim Crowley Award chairman since 1983. He has coached in the MHSFCA All-Star Game, is in our Hall of Fame, and served as president of the association in 1999. He was awarded Regional Coach of the Year 11 times, State Coach of the Year 3 times, Detroit Lions Coach of the Week recipient in 1998, Detroit News Dream Team All-State Coach in 1999. In 2001, he was a finalist in football by the National High School Athletic Coaches Association. When he retired in 2002 with a record of 233.59, he was in the top 10 of coaches with the best record percentage-wise of all time in the state of Michigan. Like Jim Crowley, Larry Sellers is a dedicated family man and committed not only to his family, church, team, and school, but also to making his community a better place in which to live. Since 1973, he has been a lector and minister of the Eucharist at St. Francis Church in Traverse City. He has been a blood donor for many years and has donated over 17 gallons of blood. Our recipient has given many life lessons to his players, many of whom have gone on to become leaders in their communities. And he said, Larry says, I love them all, and they all love me. The Sellers family is composed of his wife, Sue, of 52 years, daughters, Stacy, Stephanie, and Kelly, as well as son, Josh. Before I continue, I've had an opportunity to visit Larry Sellers at St. Francis when he was coaching and teaching there. And Larry said, humbly, they all love me. He's right. He was a very popular guy in that school, and definitely a leader of men and in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present to you the 2016 recipient of the Jim Crowley Award, Coach Larry Sellers of Traverse City St. Francis High School.
Thank you, Mr. Merckx. I appreciate that very much. Congratulations to all the regional coaches from this year, and also to these fine gentlemen before us who are the coaches of the year, state coaches of the year, if you will. Coach Bush, I thought, said it very well. Larry Merckx said it very well as well. Football is in jeopardy. There are people who would like to see the game ended because it's too violent. It causes deaths, and we should not have it. But as these gentlemen said, the game is really not that dangerous. Statistics have proven that. We are working diligently on safety issues. Coaches, I've heard 2 different series today, one today, one yesterday, on concussions and their effects, etc. And things are being worked on. So we still want to give that opportunity for these young men to carry on with the game that they love, and for us coaches to coach the game that we love. I just want to introduce some people tonight, and I'm going to start out with the coaching staff at MHSFCA High School, the current coaching staff. Many of these guys are from the former staff, if you will, with the old guy, because right now the young guy, the young Sellers, is a coach, Josh Sellers. And I would ask these gentlemen to stand as I call your name, please. Aaron Thompson, Dan Marquardt, Ben Beckwith, played for us. Mike Lazinski, played for us. Scott Doriot, played for us, led a team to a state title in 1992. Aaron Bigger, played for us. Craig Bauer has coached there since 1977, with the exception of the time that he was a head coach at Elk Rapids High School for 10 years. Joe Forlenza, who is a former head coach at TC Central. Steve Curtis, who is a former head football coach at Suttons Bay High School. Stan Pash, who's not with the current staff. He's coaching at Suttons Bay, but he spent 15 years with us, very important years, and helped the program tremendously. And Jim Carroll, who has coached for more than 50 years at Traverse City St. Francis in several sports, but over 50 years in the sport of football. And then we'll put the young guy up there too, Josh Sellers, who's the current coach. If you give these guys a round of applause, please. Lastly, I'd like to introduce our family quickly. My wife of 52 years, Susan, if you would stand up. Our oldest daughter, Stacy, and her husband, Matt, and children. You can stand, that's all right, be embarrassed. And children, Ben and Kyle, Troy, Jason. Stand up, please. Our next daughter, Stephanie, and her husband, Bob Ewing, and their children, Mac and Sophie, who are at school here in Lansing at Michigan State, and the younger ones, Tucker and Lily, in the reverse order of age. Our third daughter, Kelly Lynn, and her husband, David Daziak, and their children. They're the smaller ones. We have Mason, we have Ethan, we have Ella, and we have the other one, the one that wanders around a little bit, Amelia. That's my family. That's our family. Of course, our son Josh, his wife is at home with their 4 boys tonight, so they cannot be here. Once again, I want to thank the association. It's a great association. Back when I left Central with headaches and things from a concussion, I never would have believed the things that have occurred, but thanks to a young lady by the name of Susan Timmer, when we got engaged, it was with the idea that we would get married, and then right away I would be back in school to finish up. And somehow that managed to happen, and the rest just kind of took off from there. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. God bless.